Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with a couple of reviews, and of course I've got to talk about Vampirella. You know I'm a huge Christopher Priest fan. I've been singing the praises, and when I read that interview with Christopher Priest where he was talking about how everybody wanted them to change the costume for Vampirella, and he says, no, you can't change the costume for Vampirella because that would take away from who Vampirella is. When he said that, man, I was jazzed because obviously this man knows who Vampirella is. He's going to take care of the character. He's going to write her properly, and everything's going to be okay. Finally, we're going to get a Vampirella that kind of resembles what she was in the 1960s. Well, okay, she's really from the 70s. She only had a couple of issues in the 60s. So if I do another 1970s, if I include her, she's going to be in the 70s, not the 60s. I'm digressing on that one. Look for my comic books were better videos, though, because those are awesome. And don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already. Don't forget to hit notifications and make sure your notifications are on, because YouTube is not sharing these videos as much as they used to. Alrighty, so I read it. I was so looking forward to it. I picked it up, I read it, and with every turn of the page, my heart died just a little bit more. Oh my gosh, Chris, what are you doing to us, man? Holy Toledo, what are you doing? I couldn't believe what I was reading. Okay, as you could tell by the title on the thumbnail, Vampirella gets woke. Yeah, that does happen a couple of times. Representation is brought up, of course. Wow, she's at a psychiatrist's office. There's a plane crash, and she's talking to a psychiatrist who's basically trying to get people over the trauma of the tragedy at hand. And I do have to admit, I like the picture of her up against the plane. We're going to get that in a little bit. There's a lot of decent scenes here, but the art never really shines. By the way, this is not a haircut, and let's not make this a thing, okay? This is recovering from chemo. What is on that blonde girl's head? It doesn't make sense. But I do like this. This is the one I was talking about. I really do like this shot. I almost used this as the thumbnail. But holy crap, man. This is bad. This is really bad. So like I said, this is how it begins. She's just screaming. It's like, what is that? Primal scream therapy. It's so modern, I guess, is the problem I'm coming up with here. So then we cut to her. She's talking to a psych, and he's not good at his job. And this is one really bad problem I had. So we're gonna the big I guess, what am I trying to say? Most of the book is her talking to him, but remembering what happened and remembering that there was a creature that caused the plane to crash. You saw it. The little girl sees him, pick up his own head, and but the problem is this psychiatrist isn't even good at his job. She'll say things like, well, the devil comes up. There is no devil. No, you would let your patient talk, because the devil might not mean the devil. The devil may mean something that the patient finds as evil. You would let them talk, maybe come to their own conclusion about what that demon, what that devil may be. My God, this was such a fail of a book. It really was. I want to love this. It's Christopher freaking Priest, but unfortunately, I just can't. My God. For the first time ever, I would have to say I've read a Christopher Priest book where the worst part of it was the writing. I in no way, shape, or form can recommend this book. I award it no points, and I feel dumber for having read it. The next book I want to talk about is Orville, #1. Finally, Orville gets a comic book. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. And, wow, what night and day, huh? I read Vampirella. I was like, oh, what a miss. And then I read the Orville, and I'm like, oh, what a twist. It's a hit. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Now, these are hard to do, seriously. I've read a lot of comic books based on TV series that fail because the writer thinks about what he loves about the TV show instead of what the public loves and what the highlight and everything. And usually instead of writing basically what would be a script for the TV show, they write their own version of it and it falls apart. Check out the Married with Children comic book for that kind of stuff. I know there's somebody who loved that, but this, on the other hand, really does feel like this could be a script for the TV show. And that's the highest praise I think I could give it. If they put this to camera, I think it would fit right in. The characters sound like the characters. And yes, when I'm watching this or when I'm reading this book, I am hearing the voices of the actors that play the roles. And why not? They come very close to the likenesses. I mean, I think so anyway. But yeah, it all fits. This is taking place between the breakup and when we find out that, what's her name? The first officer. Dang, I just read this. Was dating the school teacher. So this takes place in the middle there. And it basically has, what's his name? Gordon and Captain Seth MacFarlane. I can't believe I forgot all those things. But yeah, they're going off to some conference and they get a distress call. So they go check it out. And end up on a planet with porgs. Not real porgs, but you read the book, you'll find out what I mean. And it's porgs, but they're more sentient. They talk and everything. It's a lot of fun. It's a funny book. It really does feel like the TV show brought to comic books, and that's all we could ask. I'm waiting for the next issue now that I've read this one. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I could see this series lasting so long as they keep up this quality, which I know is going to be a hard thing to do. It will be, because as soon as they start writing what they think the show should be rather than what it actually is, this is going to go down the tubes. Thankfully, what we have right now is good, solid storytelling, good, solid art where, like I said, everybody looks alike. Well, not looks alike, but looks like they're TV counterparts. And in the end, no, that's all we really need, right? Next up, we have Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, #1. And I have to tell you, after reading Lois Lane #1 and how bad that book was, this was not exactly thrilling me. This isn't something I was looking at going, woohoo, going to be the best thing ever. Can't wait to get it. Woohoo. I don't know why I'm trying to sound like a 19th century gold prospector there. But anyway, yeah, so what to say about this? It's a lot of fun. It really is. They steer into what Jimmy Olsen used to be. This is almost a Silver Age story modernized, because the stuff that Jimmy Olsen is doing in this particular story is ridiculous. Some would say redonkulous, but I think that is stupid, so I will not be saying that. Anyway, it really is. It's he gets shot up with a chemical, turns into a weird creature. He's about to plummet to Earth because he decided to do a give kids the world kind of wish that somebody said, I want you to jump out of an airplane at orbit. Okay, and he's supposed to be filming it. This caused the destruction of a particular landmark, and it ends up increasing the planet's insurance. So it's really bizarre because right in the middle of this story, there is an argument about insurance. I'm like, this should not be exciting. This should not be fun. This should be boring as hell. And yet, I'm riveted. It's really good. I'm very surprised at how good it was, especially after Lois Lane. But it continues from there. And they find out a little bit more about how Jimmy Olsen has been affecting the bottom line for the Daily Planet. And they decide to keep him on, but he can't be a Metropolis anymore because he keeps destroying pieces of it. So they decide he needs to be embedded somewhere, and where they put him, it looks like it's going to be more fun in the next issue. That's all I can say. So overall, unlike Lois Lane, I absolutely can and do recommend Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. Not for the art. The art is where, in my opinion, it's a bit weak. Now, I'm not an artist, but I know what I like, and I've been looking at this stuff long enough to know that it's okay. But considering the quality of the story, I just wish the art was a little bit stronger. And last but not least, that would be Vampirella. We have Wonder Woman come back to me. And, wow. I don't know. Look at this. What do you think about this one? I think she looks a little stumpy for me. So I was like, yeah, the art is kind of hit and miss. I mean, almost from panel to panel. Just look at that. Sometimes it looks, okay, well, that's Wonder Woman. And sometimes it looks like it's Wonder Woman's kid sister. And I just kept noticing this, by the way. Look at that right there. Okay, on the left, on the bottom, Wonder Woman. On the right, Wonder Woman's kid sister. And that's the way it is. So anyway, the story's a bit of a slog, and it takes a while to get going. At least that's what it feels like, as they're trying to introduce Steve Trevor to us. But you really could just edit that out to the point where she's with Etta at the house and is like, oh my gosh, there's a fire. I better go stop it. And Steve's like, well, I wish I could help you, but I'm off on my mission. And then we find out that the mission goes wrong. Boom, you just cut out 2 or 3 pages. Instead, they have that big boring part in the beginning. And after the woodland fire here where she gets all the creatures to help, yep, she finds out Steve Trevor is in trouble, and she rushes to help him. It's just bad storytelling, in my opinion. It's poorly paced. And that is a huge problem. That's a huge problem with comic books in general these days, on both sides, Marvel or DC independents. I just see the pacing as a bit of a problem. Can I recommend this? No. I wish I could. I want to, because I'm a big Wonder Woman fan, and I'm actually liking what G. Willow Wilson is doing with her, but here, this book just falls flat, in my opinion. Well, there you go, gang. Those are 4 reviews, 2 and 2. Too good, too bad, 50%, not too shabby, I guess. I was so expecting so much more out of Vampirella. I really was. Chris, what did you do? What did you do? But anyway, those are my opinions. What are yours? Did you like any of these books? Did you hate them? What was your thoughts on them? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. And just write a comment out anyway. I need help with the algorithm because YouTube's decided not to share my videos anymore. As a matter of fact, they buried them with those kid videos where they're all playing with toys. I don't know what that's all about. I talked to YouTube. They're kind of iffy on that. I don't know what's going on with them. Anyway, yeah, click like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't done it already. Make sure your YouTube notifications are on as well, because that is all YouTube counts these days. And don't forget to go on over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi. Drop $1 in the till and helps keep making videos for you. Or you could go on over to Ko-Fi, links in the description below, as I said, and commission your own video in any of the categories that we do. It's a lot of fun. I've just been challenged, as a matter of fact, by somebody to find a Belgium book from 1952 to do an origin story of a character on. So that's going to get the clicks. But anyway, it still is fun to see what kind of story I'm going to be doing. And I would love to see what you have in mind for this channel. So go on over to Ko-Fi, links in the description below, and commission yourself a video. Thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.